Welcome to the Worldwide Golf Insider Podcast. Hello, everyone. Tom Brissell here. Thanks so much for joining us. You know, wherever you are, however you may be catching this episode, we are just so glad that you joined us today. Our guest today, he's a longtime veteran on the show here with us. He goes way, way back. Our good friend from Mizuno Golf, Mr. Chris Voshall. Chris, thanks so much, man. Great to have you here, old timer.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It's always fun. I know we talked, I guess it was about 9 months ago back at the PGA
Yeah.
show, going over some new stuff, and we're excited to launch some new stuff again. So this is exciting.
Any idea how many years, if you were to look back in the time machine, you've been doing this with me now?
Ooh, well, I started with Mizuno right at 20 years ago, but I know I didn't get into kind of this side of the world until probably closer to 10. So it's
Yep.
probably been a good 10 years, I would guess.
October 2014. So next
Oh,
month,
almost exactly.
yeah, next month, look for that 10-year watch in the mail to you that we send out. Before we get into what's new, Chris, what is it about the relationship you have with not only your tour players, but golfers who go to
Mhm.
Mizuno and then never go back to anything else?
I think it comes down to the quality of the product, the feel of the product, and kind of just all of the little things that we do when we're developing stuff. I think we always joke about, like, the hashtag nothing feels like a Mizuno, and there's so much truth behind it that while we're not the biggest company in the world, we're that one that kind of sticks. Like, once we get our product in the mix, once someone gives them a go and really starts to understand just the technology and everything built into them, it's not uncommon for people to become Mizuno people for life. So, I know I'm one. I got my first set of Mizunos when I was a senior in high school, and I have never played anything since. I just so happened to get a job with the company that I played and I loved, and it's the best. So it is one of those things. If you have not experienced the feel of a Mizuno iron, wedge, forging, even our woods, if you have not tried them, do it, and it might just stick on you.
Well, let's talk about what's right on our front porch. It's the JPX 925 hot metal line. JPX 925 is a storied family within
Mhm.
Mizuno, but talk about what we have new and who this might appeal to.
The JPX hot metal family, it's really been something that has redefined who Mizuno is and what we're known for. We're that company that so many people just know us for those small forgings. I talk about the feel. The feel translates to the JPX line as well, but the hot metal has become, honestly, it's like our showcase for new distance technology and irons. That hot metal features a nickel chromoly club head, and going back to the 919, or sorry, the 900 hot metal, which was the first introduction, that was our first use of chromoly. And then we've used different versions of chromoly with each generation. And now this newest nickel chromoly, it is so strong yet so malleable for a fitter to be able to get it custom fit for you. And it's something that we're really like learning how to use even better than we have before. What I mean by that is the technology behind how we've used that nickel chromoly in the face has allowed us to develop what we're calling a contour ellipse face that's going to give you not only extreme ball speeds, but super consistent fast ball speeds all across the face of the entire family. And one of the other cool things about it is the hot metal family has always just been chromoly only. This is the first time we're starting to bring some other materials into that. So we've got some tungsten weighting and the longer irons of all three models, the hot metal pro, and the hot metal high launch, to make sure they not only go a long way, but they go really high as well and stop really quick.
I noticed that on the videos you have on your website, you're bringing in new stuff for the first time to mix in with the chromoly. You mentioned
Mhm.
Hot Metal Pro, and High Launch. Let's just kind of glance on each of these as far as what the features, benefits are, and who these might appeal to.
The cool thing about them all the technologies live across all three of them. Like, they're literally the exact same technology package, but they're different specs designed for the fitting world to kind of apply to certain players. The Hot Metal Pro is the slimmest, it's the thinnest sole, shortest from heel to toe. It's that one for that player who's a little bit more discerning eye, who wants something to look a little bit more compact at the dress,
Yeah.
but it still has, again, all that distance technology built into it. The standard hot metal, that's the one I'd say that's the catch-all. That's the one that's going to fit the most players. By getting a little bit larger than that hot metal pro, we're able to get some more forgiveness out of it, some more consistency, and a little bit easier launch as well, because that center of gravity lives a little bit deeper. And then for the slower swing speed player, I wouldn't necessarily say the higher handicap, but for the player who doesn't quite generate as much feed through impact, that's where that hot metal high launch is going to be a game changer. It's a little bit larger head with a little bit deeper center of gravity as well, touch more offset, but the spec really is the biggest difference. It's designed to launch the ball a little bit higher with that deeper center of gravity and a little bit weaker loft. And it's that one that fitter can go to, particularly when you're looking at a player who just struggles to get those long irons in the air. That hot metal high launch is going to do that. They're going to go a long way and they're going to go ultra high.
Chris, when you're developing these and before you obviously bring them to market, you take these out and have people test them. I mean, you have just an array of that. What are the one or two things that you heard consistently on these irons when you had them in testing, that the feedback that came back to you?
You know, the thing that I think surprised people is just how much you get out of mishits on these. And I'm not just talking distance, I'm talking, straight and trajectory as well. So I'd say if you're comparing it to the previous generation, they are longer, yes. They are straighter, yes. And they're just more consistent all across the face. So to me, that's been the real feedback that we've received is, oh, well, I missed that one a little bit on the toe. I know what it's going to do. Yet it does something a little bit different. It almost acts like that center shot. So to me, that's the biggest thing, has been the consistency of the flight. And then the other is just the feel of it. Even though we got hotter, even though these balls are going faster than they ever have before and our faces got thinner, they don't feel any different. Like, they feel solid. There's so many distance golf clubs out there right now that don't feel that great. Like, they feel like they're going a long way, but it's not a rewarding feeling. It doesn't feel good in your hands. These feel good and go a long way.
You gave me a number one time, and it's, pardon me for forgetting it, but the percentage of clubs that you ship out from there that are custom, and you mentioned fitting a few minutes ago. Talk about the importance of somebody who wants to dive into these clubs to take the time, get into one of our Worldwide Golf retail locations and invest. I don't want to say take the time, invest the time to get fit, because there's so many options, and you do it so well. Mizuno's done it so well for so many years.
I think that it's a great thing to bring up. The actual physical number, we ship somewhere between 75 and 80% of the clubs that Mizuno sells are custom fit. And to me, that speaks volumes for a couple of things. One, just the way we do business at Mizuno is we feel like you shouldn't be penalized if you happen to fit in a shaft that we did not choose as our stock shaft. So we have a countless number of no upcharge options, as well as shafts, grips, specs, everything. So while you're investing the time to get dialed in, you're not necessarily investing more money. The cost isn't necessarily any higher because we build so many no upcharge options in there. So with that, to me, as a club engineer or former club engineer, now turned marketing product guy, whatever, I love to talk about the technology, but the technology you don't benefit from if you're not dialed in. Like, if it's not if you're not delivering the club as consistently as you could because of the custom spec. So to me, you're doing yourself a disservice getting a new golf club if you do not go into a Worldwide Golf shop and get dialed in for them.
Former club engineer, I could tell by the whiteboard behind you. A marketing guy, I could tell by Stacy Lewis's head cover behind you. Chris, I'm going to let you close us out. Give us some final words for our viewers and listeners here on Worldwide Golf Insider.
Mizuno is always so excited to bring out new golf clubs. And one of the things I love the most about this company is that we don't just launch the next thing. Each one has a visibly measurable difference and improvement on the previous one. So this 925 hot metal, even though the last one was the 923, this is the 925, it sounds like just the next version. There are so many cool technologies packed into this that's going to get you more out of your game if you get it dialed in. So to me, just go out and try it. Even if you've never tried a hot metal golf club and you're that player who thinks, oh, I don't need all that distance, we can deliver it to you in a feel and a package that looks good to your eye. You're not going to want to turn it down. So to me, my number one thing, go get fit and go try these clubs. Go try the 925 hot metal line.
You got me fired up to go over the hitting bay right now and give them a try here at Edwin Watson Jackson. Chris, thanks so much, man. It's always great catching up with you, old timer, wily veteran of 10 years, and let's do it again down the road. Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.